Chapter 1, Shadows of the Past. The moon hung low in the obsidian sky, casting an eerie pallor over the ancient graveyard. Tombstones, worn by time and weathered by the ages, stood like silent sentinels, guardians of long-forgotten secrets. Draven, his obsidian scales reflecting the moonlight, moved with the grace of a shadow among the graves. He had been drawn to this desolate place, his steps guided by a whispered memory that refused to fade. In the midst of the cemetery, Draven paused beside a weathered tombstone, its inscription barely visible. With a gloved hand, he traced the faint letters. "To my dearest son," it read, "may you find the truth you seek." A shiver ran down Draven's spine, and he clenched the locket hanging around his neck, a locket with a dragon coiled around a dagger. It was the only clue to his past, and it had led him here, to the gravestone of a father he couldn't remember. A voice emerged from the shadows, soft as the whispering wind. "Seeking answers, are we?" Startled, Draven spun to find a cloaked figure leaning against a tombstone. The stranger's eyes gleamed like twin embers in the darkness, and a wry smile played on their lips. Draven's grip tightened on his dagger. "Who are you?" The cloaked figure stepped closer, the moonlight revealing their elven features. "I am Elara," they replied, "a traveler of songs and stories. And I believe you and I share a common quest." Draven's suspicion gave way to curiosity. "How could you know that?" "Destiny weaves its threads in mysterious ways," Elara said cryptically. "But it is not for me to reveal. Instead, I offer you a choice, a path that may lead you to answers." As Elara spoke, they produced a parchment from within their cloak, unfurling it with deliberate grace. It bore a map, intricate and mysterious, with a trail marked in crimson ink that snaked through uncharted territories and perilous lands. Draven studied the map, his eyes narrowing. "And what's the price of this path?" Elara's smile deepened. "Only that you allow me to accompany you on your journey. For I believe your quest is tied to an ancient secret, one that has been sung of in the verses of time." The dragonborn rogue hesitated, his heart torn between skepticism and the allure of the unknown. "Why should I trust you?" Elara's gaze never wavered. "Trust is earned, Draven, just as answers are sought. But in the shadowed dance of our destinies, we may find truths we never dreamed of." Draven sighed, sensing the gravity of the moment. "Very well, Elara, we'll walk this path together. But know this, I am driven by a legacy I barely understand, and I will not rest until I uncover the secrets of my past." Elara nodded, the moonlight catching the glint of determination in their eyes. "Then let us embark on this journey, Draven, and may the echoes of our footsteps lead us to the mysteries that await." With a sense of purpose born from the night's mystique, Draven and Elara set forth on their quest, their words and footsteps merging into the whispers of destiny that would guide them through the shadows of the past. Chapter 2, Veil of Whispers. The sun had risen, casting its soft, golden hues across the land as Draven and Elara ventured deeper into the uncharted wilderness. Their feet followed the winding path marked in crimson on the map, a trail that led them through dense forests, where towering trees whispered secrets to the wind, and over rocky terrain, where the jagged stones seemed to hold tales of their own. With every step, an air of anticipation thickened around them, as if the very earth itself sensed the weight of their quest. The world held its breath, as if it, too, were eager to see what truths lay buried beneath layers of time. Draven's watchful eyes swept their surroundings, ever alert for signs of danger. Breaking the silence that had settled between them like a comfortable shroud, he turned to Elara. "You spoke of an ancient secret," he said, his voice low and contemplative. "What knowledge do you possess of it?" Elara's gaze was fixed on the distant horizon where the mountains brushed the sky, her eyes distant and contemplative. "Legends, Draven," she began, "whisper of a bond between dragonborn and elves, a connection that transcends the ages. It is said that by unraveling this bond, we may unlock the mysteries hidden within our very souls." Draven furrowed his brow, his curiosity piqued. "And what does this truth we seek entail? What awaits us at the culmination of our journey?" Elara's response was laden with solemnity, as if she bore the weight of ancient knowledge. "That, dear friend," she said, "remains shrouded in the veils of destiny. But I believe it holds the key to your past and, just maybe, the salvation of Eldoria itself." As their journey took them further into the wilderness, an overwhelming sense of isolation enveloped them. The forest seemed to press in, its trees old and wise, their branches interlocking like a labyrinth of ancient secrets. A silence fell upon them, so profound that it felt as though the very earth listened to their footsteps. Hours stretched into days, and their expedition turned into a test of physical and emotional endurance. They traversed treacherous ravines, forded swift rivers, and encountered creatures that lurked in the shadows. Each challenge they faced together, their trust in one another deepening with every obstacle surmounted. One tranquil evening, while they made camp beneath the celestial tapestry of stars, Draven's eyes lingered on the flickering campfire. He turned to Elara and asked, "You mentioned your songs. You are a traveler of stories, are you not?" Elara's lips curled into a warm smile as their fingers danced over the strings of a lute resting nearby. "My songs," they replied, "are more than mere melodies. They are threads of history woven into the fabric of time itself. Through them, I seek to preserve the wisdom and beauty of ages past." Draven's curiosity was piqued. "And what song shall you craft from the chapters of our journey?" With a fluid grace, Elara's fingers wove a haunting melody from the lute's strings. "Our tale, Draven," they said softly, "is a song of the uncharted, a duet between a dragonborn, bearing no known heritage, and an elven bard, concealing secrets of her own. It is a melody of destiny's embrace, of whispers in the night, and the revelation of the past." As Elara's haunting song resonated through the night, Draven felt the weight of his quest and the enigmatic connection he shared with the elven bard. They tread a path fraught with riddles and mysteries, yet the bond between them grew stronger, and he sensed a profound camaraderie forged in the crucible of the shared journey. Weeks ebbed away, their crimson trail on the map leading them ever deeper into the heart of Eldoria. With each step, their connection deepened, their stoic determination softened by the companionship they found in each other's presence. Chapter 4, Dance with the Spectator. As Draven and Elara ventured deeper into the heart of Eldoria, following the cryptic clues hidden within the ancient grove, they found themselves enveloped in an eerie silence. The forest grew denser, the shadows deepening, as if the very land held its breath in ominous anticipation of their arrival. Their path led them to the entrance of a colossal cavern, its yawning maw a portal into the realm of the unknown. Within its depths, they sensed an ancient presence, an unsettling malevolence that whispered of forgotten horrors. Draven drew his dagger, his senses heightened to the foreboding atmosphere that clung to the cavern's walls. "Elara," he spoke in a hushed tone, "we are drawing close to the truth, but we are not alone. Something, or someone, watches us." Elara nodded solemnly, her fingers brushing the strings of her lute with a deliberate, almost defiant, motion. "Indeed, Draven, we tread where few have ventured, and our steps awaken ancient guardians." With cautious resolve, they entered the cavern. Their footsteps echoed off the cold, damp stone walls, the darkness enveloping them like a suffocating shroud. The deeper they ventured, the more pronounced the sensation of being observed became. Then, without warning, the cavern's oppressive silence shattered. An otherworldly wail filled the air, reverberating through the shadows. Before them materialized a nightmarish form, a spectator aberration, a creature born of eldritch forces and ancient curses. It hung suspended in the air, its many eyes fixed upon Draven and Elara, each eye gleaming with unnatural malevolence. Elara's voice quivered as she whispered, "A spectator, a guardian of forbidden knowledge. It seeks to test our resolve." The spectator's voice reverberated through the cavern like a chorus of malevolent whispers. "Intruders in my realm," it hissed, "you seek what is forbidden. You shall pay the price with your sanity." Draven's grip tightened on his dagger, his voice unwavering. "We seek answers, not madness. Stand aside, creature, or be vanquished." In response, the spectator unleashed a relentless barrage of magical rays from its many eyes. The beams of energy tore through the air in a chaotic symphony, each one a death sentence aimed at Draven and Elara. They moved with a grace born of desperation, narrowly evading the relentless attacks, their survival depending on their synchronized movements. Elara's lute sang with haunting melodies, weaving protective spells into the air. "We are bound by destiny," she declared, "and our will is stronger than your malevolence." The cavern trembled as their battle with the spectator escalated, the ancient stones bearing witness to a relentless clash of wills and wit. Draven's dagger struck true, slicing through the air with precision, while Elara's music wove barriers of arcane protection. The spectator, formidable as it was, found itself challenged by their unwavering resolve and unity. Yet, as the battle raged on, the spectator's relentless assault began to take its toll. Draven and Elara were pushed to the brink of exhaustion, their movements growing sluggish, their defenses weakening. Each beam of magic left them more vulnerable, and their wounds multiplied. In a moment of sheer desperation, the spectator unleashed a final, devastating attack, a pulsating wave of eldritch energy that threatened to engulf them. Draven and Elara, their strength nearly depleted, threw themselves behind a rocky outcrop, their breaths ragged, their bodies battered and bruised. The cavern fell silent, the echoes of their battle still ringing in their ears. Draven and Elara lay in the dimness, their bodies trembling with the sheer intensity of their ordeal. Draven managed to speak, his voice weak but resolute. "Elara, we cannot let this creature defeat us. We must gather our strength and press on." Elara nodded, her eyes filled with a mix of exhaustion and determination. "Our journey is not over, Draven, but we must heal and rest before we can face the challenges that lie ahead." With that understanding, they retreated deeper into the cavern, seeking a safe haven where they could mend their wounds and regain their strength. The echoes of the near-death battle remained etched in their memories, a stark reminder of the perils that awaited them on the path of their intertwined destinies. Chapter 5, Echoes of the Heart. Deep within the cavern, Draven and Elara found a secluded alcove bathed in a dim, ethereal glow emanating from luminescent fungi clinging to the walls. It provided a tranquil refuge from the relentless battle with the spectator, a place where they could tend to their wounds and catch their breath. Elara began to sing a gentle, healing melody, her voice infused with the magic of her songs. The haunting notes washed over them like a soothing balm, easing their pain and fatigue. Draven watched her in admiration, his emerald eyes locked onto her as if she were the source of his strength. "You have a remarkable gift," Draven said, his voice filled with genuine awe. "Your music possesses a healing power like no other." Elara's lips curled into a soft smile as she continued her melody. "It is a gift passed down through generations of my elven kin. Music has the power to mend not only the body but the soul as well." As the healing magic enveloped them, Draven couldn't help but feel a deep sense of gratitude for the elven bard who had become his companion on this perilous journey. "Elara," he began, his voice softer, "you have stood by my side through battles and mysteries, and I find myself drawn to you in ways I cannot fully explain." Elara's fingers caressed the strings of her lute, the melody taking on a more intimate, inviting tone. She met Draven's gaze, her eyes sparkling with a mixture of curiosity and affection. "Draven," she replied, her voice imbued with a subtle playfulness, "our destinies are intertwined, and perhaps there is more to our connection than mere fate." Draven moved closer to Elara, their proximity igniting a subtle tension in the air, a spark of something deeper than camaraderie. "Elara," he said, his voice husky with emotion, "in the midst of danger and uncertainty, I have found solace in your presence. Perhaps our journey isn't only about unraveling mysteries but discovering the bonds that tie our hearts." Elara's lute fell silent, and she set it aside. She reached out, her hand resting gently on Draven's cheek, her touch warm and tender. "Draven," she whispered, her words a breathless confession, "I, too, have found something extraordinary in our shared path. It's as if the very essence of Eldoria itself has conspired to bring us together." Their faces drew closer, their breaths mingling, a magnetic pull drawing them into a kiss that ignited like a blaze in the cavern's depths. Their lips met, and time seemed to stand still as they tasted the sweet, forbidden nectar of their newfound connection. When they finally parted, they gazed into each other's eyes, their hearts speaking a language that transcended words. In that stolen moment, they discovered a love that had blossomed amidst the enigmas and perils of their quest, a love that was as enduring as the mysteries of Eldoria itself. Chapter 6, Blood of the Ancients. Draven and Elara journeyed deeper into the heart of Eldoria, their love for each other intertwined with the enigmas that had brought them together. As they ventured onward, the shadows of the past seemed to whisper secrets long forgotten, urging them closer to the answers they sought. Their path led them to a serene glade where a pool of crystal-clear water mirrored the heavens above. Ancient trees encircled the clearing, their gnarled branches forming a natural canopy. It was a place where the boundary between the earthly realm and the mystic world was thin, a place where the mysteries of Eldoria converged. Elara approached the pool, her reflection rippling in the water's surface. "This place," she murmured, "is said to hold the memories of our ancestors. It is a wellspring of forgotten knowledge." Draven joined her, the obsidian scales on his hand grazing the water. "Perhaps it can reveal the truth of our intertwined destinies." As they gazed into the pool, the waters began to shimmer, revealing glimpses of the past. Images of Dragonborn and elves intertwined in a shared history danced before their eyes. It was a story of unity, a tale of Dragonborn and elves standing as guardians of Eldoria, their bloodlines forged in the fires of an ancient blood pact. Elara's voice trembled with realization. "Draven, our families are bound by a blood pact, one that dates back to a time when Dragonborn and elves stood united against a common threat." Draven nodded, his heart heavy with the weight of the revelation. But what was the threat that necessitated such a pact? The waters of the pool responded with a vision, a cataclysmic event that shook Eldoria to its core. It revealed dragon gods, ancient beings of immense power, possessing the bodies of Draven's ancestors. These dragon gods sought dominion over Eldoria, a reign of terror that could only be halted by the unity of Dragonborn and elves. Elara's eyes widened as she watched the vision unfold. The dragon gods, she whispered, they sought to consume the very essence of Eldoria. Our ancestors sacrificed their lives to imprison these malevolent beings, sealing them away for eternity. Draven's voice was filled with solemnity. And our bloodlines were chosen to uphold this pact, to protect Eldoria from the return of the dragon gods. Elara nodded, her eyes filled with a sense of purpose. But Draven, we are not the first to walk this path. The burden of our ancestors' pact weighs heavy upon us. As they contemplated the knowledge revealed to them, the air seemed to thicken with the presence of ancient spirits, a chorus of voices echoing in the glade. The spirits of their ancestors had been watching, waiting for the moment when Draven and Elara would uncover the truth. One spirit, bearing the likeness of an elderly dragonborn, stepped forward. Draven, Elara, it intoned, you are the culmination of generations bound by a blood pact. The fate of Eldoria rests upon your shoulders. Draven met the spirit's gaze with a steely resolve. We will honor our ancestors' sacrifice and protect Eldoria from the return of the dragon gods. Elara's voice was filled with determination. We shall continue this journey, unlocking the secrets of our intertwined destinies. With the blessing of their ancestors, Draven and Elara departed the glade, their steps guided by the echoes of the past and the weight of their newfound knowledge. They knew that their quest was far from over, that they must uncover the means to prevent the return of the dragon gods and fulfill the blood pact that bound their families. Chapter 7, The Burden of Sacrifice. Draven and Elara's journey through Eldoria had brought them ever closer to the truth of their intertwined destinations. Yet, as they delved deeper into the heart of their ancestral legacy, a shadow of dread hung over them, like a looming storm on the horizon. Their path led them to a sacred chamber concealed within the depths of an ancient temple. The chamber was adorned with carvings that told the story of their ancestors' sacrifice, the blood pact, and the eternal battle against the dragon gods. It was a place of profound importance, and the air was heavy with the weight of history. As Draven and Elara studied the carvings, the knowledge of the shared burden gnawed at them. Draven's family had always played the role of martyrs, willingly offering themselves as vessels to imprison the dragon gods. It was a duty they had upheld for generations. Elara's voice trembled as she spoke, her eyes fixed on Draven. Draven, there is something we must confront. The dragon gods can only be sealed away if a dragonborn willingly offers themselves as a vessel. It has been your family's legacy to bear this sacrifice. Draven turned to Elara, his heart heavy with the realization. And you, Elara, you are the guardian of this knowledge, the one chosen to guide the dragonborn on their fateful path. Elara nodded, tears glistening in her eyes. It is a heavy burden, Draven, one that I have carried with me since the beginning of our journey. I knew that this moment would come. As the weight of their ancestors' sacrifice bore down upon them, a sense of inevitability settled in the chamber. Draven's scales shimmered with an inner turmoil, his voice a whisper of anguish. I cannot bear the thought of being possessed by the dragon gods, of losing myself and becoming a vessel of destruction. Elara's fingers touched Draven's cheek, her touch a bittersweet caress. I have seen the strength within you, Draven. You are more than your bloodline, you are a beacon of hope for Eldoria. But the duty of my family has always been to protect this realm, and I must fulfill that duty, even if it means sacrificing the one I love. Draven's eyes glistened with unshed tears as he held Elara's gaze. I understand, Elara. I cannot ask you to forsake your sacred duty. But promise me one thing: to remember the love we shared, and to ensure that Eldoria remains a place of peace. Elara nodded, her voice a broken whisper. I promise, Draven. Our love will endure, even as we confront this tragic destiny. As they stood in the sacred chamber, a solemn understanding passed between them, a shared knowledge of the sacrifices they must make for the greater good. The echoes of their ancestors watched over them, their spirits a reminder of the profound legacy that bound Draven and Elara together. With heavy hearts, they left the chamber, knowing that their path would lead them to the ultimate test of their love and loyalty. The burden of sacrifice hung over them like a shroud, but they faced it with unwavering determination, ready to confront the destiny that awaited them and to ensure that Eldoria would remain a realm free from the shadows of the past. Chapter 8, The Sacrifice. The cavern's oppressive darkness bore witness to the heart-wrenching choices that Draven and Elara were forced to make. Their intertwined destinies had brought them to this agonizing crossroads, where the weight of the decisions threatened to crush their spirits. From the obsidian abyss, the spectator aberration emerged, malevolent eyes gleaming with cruel anticipation. It attacked with ruthless precision, leaving Draven grievously wounded and vulnerable, his body lying lifeless on the frigid cavern floor. Elara's heart shattered as she watched her beloved Draven succumb to the relentless assault. His breaths grew shallow, his life fading away before her eyes. In that desperate moment, the gazes locked, and his eyes, filled with pain and love, pleaded for salvation. "Draven," she whispered through quivering lips, tears streaming down her face, "I love you, and I will save you." With the spectator aberrations relentless, Elara realized that the only way to rescue Draven and protect Eldoria was to fulfill the blood pact by becoming the vessel for the dragon gods. But she had a daring plan that would change their fate forever. Summoning every ounce of her resolve, Elara allowed herself to be possessed by the malevolent entity that sought to overtake her. As the eldritch force enveloped her, she harnessed the dragon god's power, intending to use it against them. In that dark moment of possession, Elara fought an internal battle, her love for Draven and her determination to save him acting as a counterforce to the malevolence within her. The spectator aberration, sensing the transformation, paused its assault, momentarily stunned by the change in Elara. But it was too late for the creature to react. With newfound strength and purpose, Elara unleashed the dragon god's power, channeling it towards the spectator aberration. The eldritch entity shrieked in agony as its form crumbled into nothingness. But the price for her audacious act of sacrifice was steep. Draven lay lifeless on the cavern floor, his wounds too severe to mend. Elara's own life was fading, her energy waning. With her last moments, she crawled to Draven's side, her vision blurred by tears. She touched his lifeless face, whispering her love for him one final time. "Draven," she sobbed, "I love you, and I will be with you soon." As Draven lay beside her, his lifeless form mirroring her own, the cavern in Eldoria was silent, save for the echoes of their love. The legacy of Draven and Elara would forever be one of selflessness and love, a tale that would be passed down for generations. Eldoria was saved, and the dragon gods were vanquished, all thanks to the ultimate sacrifice made by two souls whose love knew no bounds.